The origin of winemaking has been traced back as far as 700 BC, with the fruits of its labor becoming synonymous for tradition, celebration, and fine dining in societies all over the world. The powerful cultural significance of wine has even popularized and even defined some of the most famous viticultural regions in the world, from Bordeaux, France to Napa Valley, California. But while these well-known regions represent some of the biggest global wine suppliers, New Zealand's exciting contributions in the market have quickly earned a reputation for producing some of the finest Sauvignon Blanc found anywhere else on Earth.
The viticulture here in New Zealand is completely unique. We're a series of islands, small islands in a big ocean. We have wonderful sunshine hours. We have proximity to the mountains. From the soil up, nothing like anything else in the world. It's a one-off. People have been making wine in New Zealand for a long time. Back in the early 19th century, the missionaries were making wine for mass. Then there was a really big gap when people pulled out the hybrid grape varieties and planted Sauvignon Blanc. That's the birth of modern New Zealand wine industry, and specifically Marlborough.
Marlborough Sauvignon Blanc right now has been made for the last 40 years. In the scope of things, that's a very, very short period of time. When you think that wine has been made for thousands of years, and certainly commercially hundreds of years in many places, only 1% of all of the wines made in the world are Marlborough Sauvignon Blanc.
The wine started to be exported in a really big way, and from the 90s through to now, we've gone from 50 million litres to 200 million litres and nearly $2 billion. That is unprecedented in the wine world.
You look to the place that brings the best quality of any particular grape. In Napa, it happens to be Cabernet. We have qualities here on these islands that exist nowhere else in the world. So with all the wonderful wines that are being made in New Zealand, Sauvignon Blanc has definitely become the king.
I've made wine in various regions around the world, in Napa Valley, in various regions in France, even in England, and enjoyed all of it. I'm a winemaker, it's what I do. I love making wine anywhere. But to be here in Marlborough right now, it's amazing. It's an incredible, bountiful, beautiful country. I've always loved Sauvignon Blanc. I came here to learn about Sauvignon Blanc, expand my knowledge, and here I am.
Settled off the seacoast in Blind River, New Zealand, Barker's Marque Wines was founded on a shared love of the craft, simplicity, and sustainability, making the most of the Marlborough County terroir and pioneering a renaissance in honest winemaking, more evident with every sip.
When Simon and I started talking about becoming partners, one thing that was easy to recognize, Simon has absolutely no pretensions.
This is where my winemaking soul turned out to be. And as it turns out, my soulmate was here as well, because I met my wife. Vanessa is an incredible lady. You won't get her talking on camera, she's too shy, but she's integral to this. She's been among vines since she was 13 or 14. We used to drive around the back roads of Marlborough looking for the perfect vineyard block. And we looked down on this valley and thought, wow, what a spot, what an incredible place. We have had minimal intervention from vine to wine as our mantra for over 10 years. And we've done it whether it's fashionable or not.
While science is a key component, ultimately either it guides you or it becomes part of you. If it becomes part of you, it opens up the door to discovery and ultimately understanding why the grape and the art of the vine and the grape coming together makes the best wines. For Simon and I, this very quickly became much more than a business together. It became a friendship. Very rarely do we...
What are you talking about?
Oh, well, I was going to try to say something nice about you, but now that I know...
We are certified sustainable, and we're very, very proud of it. We put it on our front labels. We didn't have to change anything we did at all. We were already doing it right. That doesn't just speak to the vineyard, it talks about the way we make our wine in the winery. It talks about where we bottle.
When you're making and selling 4 Marlborough Sauvignon Blancs that essentially come from the same place, that have different taste profiles, that's a labor of love. And that was something that Simon and I had so incredibly in common. That's what he wanted to make, and that's what I wanted to sell.
These 4 wines, they've grown up together. And I think of them as a family of wines. Ranga, which is a feisty teenage boy. It's fresh, it's vibrant, it's lively. Arona is a beautiful young mademoiselle, fruity, open, friendly, very approachable. The Loup is mum, kind and gentle, but with a backbone of steel. Very, very complex and incredibly intriguing. And then there's Three Brooms, who's the patriarch of the family. Big, intense, but with incredible depth.
2019 was a really great year for us. 3 of our 5 wines received over 90 points. Three Brooms Riesling was a 91-point wine, the Loup was a 91-point wine, and Three Brooms Sauvignon Blanc rated at 90 points. The Wine Spectator also gave it a top 100 best value wines of the world, and you know, that carries a lot of weight, so we are more than humbled by the recognition. Those who work in our bottling plants, those who are label makers, those that work from the vineyards, those that are distributors that we work with, it's people like that, the ones that help us make the best possible wines that we can.
I hope that people drink wine to enjoy it and to be shared with friends. That's what it's about for me.